What's going on, everybody? Toby Wan Shinobi here, and today I'm going to show you the best aim training and warm-up for Zero build. Alright, so this is what I do pretty much before I jump on stream or I play competitively in any manner, right? So I try to do all of this stuff, but a lot of times I won't have the time to do it all. But if you can get 50 to 75% of these scenarios in before you play, you are going to be slaying, and you're also going to improve your aim over time. So let's just get right into it. And first off, I'm going to start with an eye exercise, right? So it's actually this video that I made called Aim Warmup. You can find it on my YouTube channel, and it's titled Aim Training FPS Eye Exercise Warmup. Basically what it is, it's a ball that goes around, and there's a lot of distractions on screen, so that while the ball is moving around, you're actually being distracted and by all this visual noise, you know, stuff happening on your screen, which is very realistic to Fortnite, because in Fortnite Zero build or any Fortnite at all, you're constantly getting shot in the face. You've got all these visual icons going on. You've got gunshots, you've got gun flare, you've got all kinds of stuff going on, and 90% of your aim in any FPS is done with your eyes and focus on your enemy. And I'm like really serious about that. If you are not looking at your enemy's character model the entire time, you're going to be whiffing shots. The best way to improve your aim is by getting better visual focus, right? And as you can see right now, I have an eye tracker going, so you can see exactly where I'm looking at. You can see I'm looking at the play button, title, ball. I think that's going to help with this video. Maybe you'll be able to see exactly how I look at my enemies, how I'm tracking them, and that sort of thing. But yeah, let's just get right into this. So this video at the 3-minute mark is going to be where the actual training starts. The intro is basically me explaining how to use it, but you don't need that for now. Basically, we're just tracking this ball as it moves around, and you can see that the background is moving and it's kind of trippy, and there's a lot of stuff that you kind of want to look at, but you need to keep focus on this ball. And it's going to run through a bunch of different scenarios and different speeds, different patterns, and just kind of like, yeah, you warm up your eyes, and this is going to improve your focus in the game and allow you to hit more shots, because again, 90% of your aim, in my belief, is done with your eyeballs and your focus. Okay, so I'll skip ahead a little bit just so you can see other scenarios. And yeah, the unfortunate thing is that YouTube has a 60 frames per second limit, so it is gonna have a little visual blur on the ball. Just make sure that you're like kind of seeing the ball as least blurred as possible, right? Just kind of looking at the front of that ball and tracking it really well. But yeah, you will see a little bit of blur, okay? And I did try to find some cool music, you know, so you can vibe out while you're watching this. Okay, and then it bounces around. All right, and that's probably enough for now. You get the gist of it. But yeah, I would do this for like 5 to 10 minutes before playing, and then your eyes are gonna be nice and warmed up and you'll be ready to go. Next up, we're actually going to jump into Fortnite, but we're not gonna jump into Battle Royale, right? We're gonna go over here, and we're going to go to our search bar, and we're gonna search for some island codes. Now, the first island that we're gonna play is going to be the ultimate warm-up. It's chapter 4 warm-up, right? Which is funny because that's the name of this video. But I'm only going to do one scenario in here. Honestly, I think this is more of a builds map, but there is one really good scenario that I really like for warm-up, and that's where I start. So the island code is up here, 7264 2987 8032. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start with that one. And the next one that we're going to do after that, just so I can give you the island codes right now, you can punch them in, is going to be Scavok Aim Trainer 1.0, island code 8022 6842 4965. And the last one we're going to do is Aim plus Mechanics, island code 1611 01 13 82 83. And then we're also probably going to jump into some quick deathmatch stuff. So we've got Rapid Zero Builds 2v2. I really like this map as a warm-up, but it is a little more sweaty. Island code 4937 5831 1716. And then optionally, if you don't want to do Rapid 2v2s, I always think that Red vs. Blue Rumble is a good start, and that is 6207 0778 2857. This is a death match, and honestly, the lobbies in this mode can be really hit or miss. If you get a bad lobby, just back out and then restart the search until you find a good lobby. A good lobby is going to be competitive players. They're not playing with rocket launchers. They're not getting like these health cheats. They're not using stupid weaponry that's really annoying, and they're not all ganging up on single players, right? They're playing the game to kind of try to improve. You get a sense of like, oh, these people are playing with current weaponry and they're, you know, playing well, and this is a good warm up, right? You don't want to play against people that have like 5 rocket launchers launchers and they're all ganging up on people. Okay, sorry about all that. Let's jump into the warm-up. So first map is Chapter 4 warm-up. All right, while this is loading, a couple things you might notice about my setup here is I've got an Azeron keypad. You might already know that I play with one of those. You can use code Shinobi in their store and you get a 5% discount. And I also use a G303 Shroud edition, which you can see right here. And I've got these weird little plastic things all over it right now, right? These are called Clawmates and they're made by Struth Gaming, which I highly recommend his channel. Really great aim training and really great aim channel in general. I bought it off his website. They're basically these little rubber things you can put in there to kind of lock your grip in. And honestly, I'm liking them a lot. It really does lead to a more consistent mouse grip I've found so far. And yeah, I just like it. All right, so now we're in the Chapter 4 warm-up map. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pick up weapons. I've already picked them up. You're going to grab infiltrator shotgun. You don't really have to grab anything else. Just grab a shotgun. Just make sure that whatever shotgun you grab has a nice tight reticle with good range, good damage fall off, right, over range. So you can hit targets from about that range and it will do good damage, right? You don't want to pick something up like a Maven shotgun because it's got too big of a bloom. The reticle is huge and it doesn't do great damage over range. It's just not a great training tool, right? So we're going to go over here now and we're going to go to target switch. All this other stuff is pretty much for builds. We're just going to go to target switch because I really like this scenario as a nice little warm up, right? This can be a shotgun scenario where basically all these guys have about 50 HP. So you have to hit them for over 50 damage and they jump around pretty sporadically. And there's quite a few of them that get up in your face. They're at long range. So it's a good way to switch up between using aim down sights, short range body shots. You know, so right there, like I should have aimed down sights. I hit him for 49. That's not enough damage. You have to hit him for 50 or more. So that's what I really like about this. It's not those little balls that go around your screen and you hit like just the edge of it and you do 1-2 damage and it still counts as a kill, right? I like this because it's going to give you a more realistic feel of the game. You need to be hitting good shotgun shots in your fights and this is going to train you to do that. So basically what I do here is I basically kill 200 of these guys. So I just kill 200. That's a good number for me. It might be a little slower for you, so you might want to go for 100, 150, whatever you want to do, but I go up to 200 usually and then I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm warm. So I just start off by so as you can see, that's not a kill. I just go like this until I hit 200 and we're just warming up our aim, you know, warming up our flick shots, warming up our target switching. This is pretty much what you do for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. I usually go to 200 kills, whatever that ends up being, probably around 5 minutes or so. Oh, see, these guys can get up in your face, and that's good practice because sometimes, you know, people get up in your face and you got to deal with them. Also going to put you against this wall right here, which throws off your aim because the reticle, sometimes that'll happen in games, right, where you get up against a wall and your third-person camera is kind of really hard to deal with. And again, make sure you're aiming down sights on these longer range targets because you're not going to hit that 50 or more on people that are further out, right? Okay, so yeah, do that for like 200 kills, 150 kills, whatever you feel like doing. And then we're gonna go ahead and change scenarios. That's really gonna get your aim, your arm, your movement, or your toggle movement really warmed up. And I like this also because you can strafe. I like being able to like duck, practice strafe ducking and that sort of thing while doing this. It just feels nice, you know? I don't like being like isolated to have no left and right movement on your left thumbstick or whatever it is. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and back out now. Do that for a while. That'll get you nice and warm, like just initial fast movement warm up. And then we're gonna start getting more precise. All right, so now we're gonna go over into Scavok Aim Trainer over here. And we're gonna do a couple scenarios in here. And the first thing we wanna do is grab weapons, right? And again, you wanna grab the right weapons. Whatever the current meta is in the season, whatever has the most accurate assault rifle that is hit scan, preferably not projectile, meaning that whatever you aim at, it shoots no matter how fast they're moving. Go for that gun. And then also probably a shotgun, whatever your favorite shotgun is for the current meta, that's also accurate and not like a big old bloom on it or a big old reticle. And then just grab like an SMG, right? Just those 3 items. We'll see how Chapter 4 Season 5 goes. We're not sure what the meta is going to look like. But yeah, try to grab a red dot scoped weapon if they have it available. That is also hit scan. So the scenarios that I really like to use in here are surge tags right here for long range aim, glider for good tracking over medium range and long range. And then sometimes I do like skeet as well. And sometimes I also do like aim duel with a bot, like just these little things. But really, I come in here mostly and I just do 2 scenarios, and that is the surge tags. Sometimes I do glider, and that's really it. But all these scenarios are great. Go ahead and check them out. I really do think that Don Wazzy here really created some great scenarios. So here we go. We're going to go into surge tags, and we're going to choose 125 meters, and we're going to go free play. So you shoot these things to select. You could do timers if you want to like kind of keep track of your progress, how good you're getting, right? Do a 3-minute timer and see how many kills you get or see how many shots you land in that amount of time. But I'm just going to go free play. I'm not really trying to keep track of how good I am doing. I'm just more of like just trying to warm up. So what's going to happen here is you have a bunch of bots in the distance that are jumping around, and they are very hard to hit. So you have to be very good at, controlling recoil, tap firing, and tracking these guys out of the air. They are hard to hit, which is very good because that's going to really warm up your precision aiming and just improve that aspect of your aim, because a lot of people struggle at long ranges, especially controller players. So this is really good. I do enjoy this quite a bit. They are very hard to hit. They jump around, move kind of rapidly like you would in normal zero builds when people are using mobility items and just doing crazy stuff. So I think this is a very good scenario. So yeah, here I really want you to be focused on looking at your enemy. Don't pay so much attention to your crosshair. I see a lot of people aim like this, right? You can see my vision right now is looking on this little reticle. I see people aim like this, and it's really bad practice, guys. Do not aim where you're watching your reticle the whole time and trying to put it on the enemy. Just look at the enemy and let your hand-eye coordination do the work. I promise you, you are going to be a better aimer for it. It might take some time getting used to your hand-eye coordination, but I promise you, you're going to be better at aiming if you just look at your enemy character model, and then you can kind of like peripherally look at your reticle and get it over the enemy, right? Do that for like, I usually go to like 20 eliminations or something. You can see the eliminations, shots missed, hit. You just go for like 20 or something, and then I move over to the next scenario. Now you can go ahead and emote to get out of here, and then you go back to the hub. And the next thing I usually do is glider tracking. I do free play again, and I do just 360 degrees because that's a little more realistic, and then we hit play. All right, so now we're gonna have gliders up in the air, kind of like real game scenario. They get at different ranges, and you want to use all 3 weapons, right? The appropriate weapon for the range. So we're using ARs at longer ranges, and these guys are hard to hit. They move crazy, and that's good practice. Wow, I can't hit a shot. Sometimes they get above your head, right? And it's really difficult to deal with them, and that's realistic, so we're happy about that. But I really want you to practice using the right weaponry at the right ranges. When people get up in your face like this, this is SMG range. Shotgun probably is best here when they're moving really quick near you. And then AR when they're up really high and they're kind of moving easier to hit. Like this, when they're a little further out. But yeah, this is going to get you those beams that you get, when people are gliding around in game, which happens all the time. Long range fights or even close range, they're gliding in on you. You need to be able to hit these shots, in clutch moments and whiff them like that. Don't whiff them like that. What you'll find on mouse and keyboard is that you're going to kind of run out of mouse space, right? And you will figure out, like, what's a good sensitivity for scenarios like this? Like, if people are going to do this in game, which they will, right? Can I handle it if I have a certain sensitivity set? Or am I going to be absolutely just, out of luck? If you find that you really can't do anything at your current sensitivity, you probably want to change it, because people are going to push you like this. They're going to glide in on you, and you want to be able to hit those shots, right? Because that's when it really matters. And someone's pushing at you with a glider or even just coming at you with some mobility items. You want to be able to hit those shots and win the fight. So on controller, that's also a thing, right? If you're having a really hard time keeping up with these guys, probably consider changing that aim down sight speed a little bit, or changing your hip fire speed. You just got to figure out how you deal with this stuff. If you want to just hip fire people, that's great with an SMG. Figure out basically how to fight against opponents that are doing this to you, because this is a realistic scenario, and that's what I really like. So yeah, do that for maybe 10 to 20 elims, whatever feels right for you. When you feel warm, you feel like you've got your weapon swapping down good, and you've got your ranges down, and you're hitting your shots. And then we're gonna go ahead and leave this scenario and go to something else. All right, so now we're doing aim plus mechanics. Mechanics by Xerix60, and this map is kind of like a medium between both the things we just did, the quick aiming and also like the longer range aiming and just tracking. I don't know, I just really like this map for pretty much like two scenarios. There's two scenarios in here that I really like. One of them is the shotgun 360 and the other one is the 1v1 versus bot, I think it's called. So just so you know, when you jump into this map, it is going to have like a loading screen. I think he's just trying to promo his other maps, but yeah, you'll have to sit here and wait for a second. All right, so now you load into the map and it's going to look like this. There's going to be a bunch of weapons over here for current season weaponry. What I like about this also is that it saves your favorites. This little device right here is going to be the thing that you press in order to get back to this main lobby. So make sure you have that in your inventory. And then the one that I really like to use is 1v1 aim duel with bot and the shotgun aim with movement mode and 360. But we'll start here. So basically the scenario here is you can do it a couple ways. You can put your back roughly against this wall and you can kind of do like medium range tracking. And I like this because this guy has a lot of health and he moves around pretty crazy and he's hard to track. He really can be hard to track. And sometimes I just do SMG aim just to kind of get that medium range, get that warmed up, see if I can like one clip this guy. Sometimes you can, if you do it in a single clip with a combat SMG. He's not actually moving that sporadic right now. And then I'll kind of move up closer, right? And I'll start doing my pump swaps. Practicing pump swapping, swapping weapons, spraying with an SMG, shotgun, spray. So yeah, just do this for a while. Just practice these swaps until I'm feeling good, right? And we're aiming for like chest shot, headshot kind of sort of. And again, we're just tracking this enemy with our eyes, right? We're not watching our reticle. We're tracking the enemy closely, practicing good focus on our target. And then, you know, do this for however long you want. And you can change up the ranges. Like, that's what I also like about this, is that you can kind of like change the ranges as you see fit. So you can practice medium or long range. You know, if you want to get all the way back here and go AR, sure. Go AR, right? Whatever AR you're using, whether it's scoped or unscoped. This is a realistic range. You will find this range. Sometimes you don't have an SMG to use, so good practice there. Okay, so now we get out of this. Actually, we're gonna go back to the lobby and I'll just show you the shotgun aim and movement 360. Now, a lot of people will jump into this and they will do this scenario right here where they shoot this target over and over again. I do not recommend this whatsoever because even if you hit the arm, it counts as a shot, right? And the most important thing in shotgun fights is landing good damage. And this does not teach you to land good damage. If you hit like just a little bit of that target right there, that counts as a success, but really that should be a failure because that's probably like a 30 damage shot at most. So instead, what I like to do is go over to this 360 room, and you'll see this in my shotgun aim video. I'll break it down really in depth, but basically I just go in here and I start jumping around and just kind of landing good damage. I'm looking for damage over 80 damage probably. If I can get into 100, that is great. And I'm going for kind of like those upper chest headshots, right? I'm trying to see some yellow numbers. And then I start moving around a little bit, practicing my jump shots and doing that. Yeah. So I like this because it incorporates some movement, gets your movement a little warmed up, and also you're aiming while movement, right? So yeah, I do that for a little bit if I need to, but typically I actually don't do this anymore. The initial scenarios that I showed you are good enough. And then we just move on. So yeah, that's a fun one for movement and aim. And again, it just kind of depends on how you're feeling, right? If you're like just not feeling warm still, keep practicing, keep warming up, keep training. It's gonna help. All right, so now what we're gonna do is jump into 2v2 rapid zero build. So this is a mode that basically is duos, but it's rapid duos. Basically, you instant respawn, and it puts you on these small maps against another team. So you jump in here, it's gonna matchmake. Usually I have to be on East Coast servers to find games. It's the only place that I can really find games here, so do have to deal with a little bit of lag for myself, about 80 ping, but it's not that bad. I will note that this game mode is generally pretty sweaty, attracts the sweatier players, so you will have some pretty good players in here. And again, if it's not your cup of tea, go to Red vs. Blue Rumble. That's a little more casual and a little bit of a safer place for novice players to learn. And it's going to put you in a bunch of different maps that are kind of small like this, and it's, yeah, basically going to be 2v2. And this is gonna be good for practicing teamwork, that sort of thing. Also just landing shots. Like right now, this guy that's on my team needs to be pushing better together. I'm gonna go ahead and capitalize the fact that he's shooting on that guy, and now we're across from each other. So positioning is pretty important here. Then just like working with your team. I'm just trying not to let him get off angled by this guy. We're gonna go ahead and cover him. So yeah, this is Rapid 2v2. Play it, see if you like it. If you can find good lobbies in it. If the lobbies are too tough, then try out Red vs Blue Rumble. All right, so those are my suggested warm-up scenarios. I'd love to hear what you use. I know a lot of people are using things like Click's Aim Trainer and the Pit and that sort of stuff. For some minor reasons that I don't really get into, I don't really use those maps, but I do know that they are pretty fun and they are good, but there are some drawbacks to them. Now, if you want to take your training even further, consider becoming a Master Shinobi by clicking the join button or the link in the video description below. You will get training with myself and other Master members 3 days a week, hands-on training. I'm watching over your shoulder. We're running demonstrations. We're doing drills together, and I'm trying to help you improve at the game as fast as I can. Now, if you felt like this video was helpful, go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe if you want to see more Zero Build content. Check out my must-watch Zero Build playlist if you want to improve at the game. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a good day. Shinobi out.